Got this engine check light here, that thing there. So we're gonna figure out what's going on. This applies to BMW X7 2019 to 2022. Double check on that. I'm not an expert, but this will apply to that. Why that check engine light is on. We'll figure this stuff out. We'll look at the settings on the car here, status here, and we'll go through all that. So let's take a look here. So go to vehicle status. Again, let's start from the top. We're gonna go to car. We're gonna go to vehicle status, and then we're gonna scroll through. So our tire pressure, let's check on that. That seems to be okay. Recommended is 34, so I'm not an expert, and the rear is 40. So I got 40 and 41, go figure. Anyway, let's go back. Engine oil, that seems okay. Check out that video how to change the oil in this car. It's pretty tricky, but not too bad. The last, check control, go here. That looks good. And then the last message here, required service, which we're due to be checking the vehicle check right there. So here's your vehicle check overdue. So please make an appointment with your service center. And it is about, since last check was 1,400 miles, I don't know. So we're gonna do this in our driveway. And there's only 13 things that BMW will check you on, and most of it is pretty straightforward. So don't be alarmed. We could do this ourselves. So 13 points. Stay tuned and watch the whole thing to the end. Make sure if your vehicle falls in line with any of these things that you may need to check. So let's get started. So basic one is number one, we're going to check our oil level, which it's easily done. So it doesn't work by just turning on the car. I can show you. And you want to go vehicle status, engine oil. So it'll tell you you have to turn on the car to actually do it. Let's turn the car. So all level is okay. I think BMW requires every 5,000 to 10,000 miles to change the oil. So that's number one. Number two is going to be our tire pressure. So if you notice, everything's happening on screen here. So nothing you got to make an appointment. Well, I'm not an expert. Don't take my word for it. But you can do most of this yourself. So let's check on our tires. And I said the recommended is 34 and the rear is 40. All right, number three will be our window washer fluids level. Let's check that. It'll be right here, which your washer level. There's really no technology behind this. I mean, you just flip it open, just pour it in, until it comes up to here. And what they recommend is you do not use any kind of silicone base with your washer fluids. So do not add any silicone. What I have been using is, I'm getting more and more with the BMW brand. I bought this from Amazon, so BMW windshield washer concentrate. So you gotta dilute this with distilled water. So what I do is I pour half of it to another jug. So you may need 2 jugs. So kind of separate out into either some kind of container that's clean. Pour half of it out and then put half with distilled water. I think this is from Walmart right here. So don't use that. Use something that's recommended by them. So that's 3. So number 4 is brake fluid. So the way it is located is over here. So all you gotta do is unlock this thing here. It tells you turn to the left, unlock, turn right, unlock. So it's on the driver's side. With the wipers on it. Check out that video. It's easy 5-minute how to change the wipers on those. But you want to twist unlock here. Open up the cover, take that out, and there's your brake fluid. Looks pretty clean to me, so I'm not going to mess with it. I did have it recently service flushed by one of my local mechanics that charged me about, I don't know, $170. I think that was a decent price versus a dealership price, but it looks like you should use brake fluid from BMW. There's your .4 brake fluid by BMW. Number 5 is your cabin filter. So cabin filters, I know that the Teslas have them, most cars have them. So cabin filters every 2 years. So the cabin filter on these is down here. Check out that video how I replaced that. Back one's located here, right there. So where it says air, that's your second cabin filter for the back one. So those every 2 years you should change those out. All right, number 6 is air filter, and I showed you how to do that in that video, so check out that video. Air box is right here. So it just requires a TP20 Torx bit to get all these bolts out. Number 7 is the radiator hose. So just by looking at a glance at them, you can see the radiator hoses down here, so they look pretty clean and intact, no cracks around there. Same goes here, pretty intact there, as you can see. That makes the drive belt, kind of gives you a better view of the drive belt. So let's take a look down here. Coming from this angle, you can see it there. It's pointing right to the, you can see the pulleys there. I know the camera doesn't do it justice, but that's what it looks like there. You can see it now. One there. All right, number 9 is your brakes. So this is your front brakes here. So looking from the front, from the back to the front. So front brakes, I did replace with these ones from Amazon. It's Brembo brakes, so good stuff. Those are good brakes. They do recommend changing the disc along with your brake pads, but so a little funky thing is you have to be careful when you order these rotors. It'll say, is it painted, not painted, is it gray, is it blue? Because the M series is a little bit bigger and beefier than these regular brake pads we got here. They looks like 4 piston pads there. You can see the brake line coming in from there. So, but they do recommend changing the rotor along with the pad, but I couldn't find the right size, and you know, and my wife needed the car back, so I didn't bother doing it. I just did the pads. Don't do what I do, okay? So got new pads, and coming up to the rear. So these brakes, the thing is, there's sensors on these. It tells you when to change it. You basically need to buy a new sensor, because it, on the old school ways, it scrapes the rotor, but on the BMW, it has sensors on it. Basically, the sensors made to be destroyed once it hits that padding where you need to replace it. So you just look at the rotor, make sure it looks good, and the padding for this one, the light has not come on yet, so I didn't bother replacing that one either. All right, number 10 is spark plugs. So this is a 6-cylinder twin turbo. So I got 6 of these here. These are the ignition coils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the back. You can see it way back there, right in the yellow. And these are easily fixable. I think you can get them from Amazon too for cheap. Just replace them. You don't need to pre-gap. I mean, gap them, they already pre-gap, so just replace those. But I haven't replaced mine. It's recommended at 60,000 to 100,000 miles, but I'm going to do it at the 100,000 mile mark. So that's number 10 for that one. Next is number 11. There's 2 batteries for these cars. So driver's side there and passenger side. So you do the same thing here. Here's lock, here's unlock. So you unlock it, pull this thing out, and here's your battery here. I want to say this is an auxiliary battery, so double check on that. I mean, the best way to change is the ohms meter. And these last pretty long here, on average probably 5 years. So that's one of the batteries you want to look at. The main battery is in the trunk, so the battery usually beneath your trunk here. Here. Excuse the mess, but it will be underneath here. And I know there's experts out there that when you replace the battery, you have to kind of recode everything back into the OBD readers. That way it reads it properly. And I don't have the correct OBD reader, so I think you need an iStat or something like that, iStata, for the BMW to read appropriately out of your OBD reader. So that was your number 11 for your check vehicle. We'll move on to 12, 13. Thank you guys for sticking on this long. I know it's long-winded, but these are the things they're looking for. Hope you can save a bunch of money. I'll flash across the screen how much BMW will charge you to do this 13-point inspection here. All right, number 12 is tires. So I got these Yokohamas from Walmart, Geolanders. They're all 4 for $1,300 installed balance. So it's number 12, tires. So you'll make sure you get good tires. This was 285, 45, 21, 113W. So good tires, right from Walmart, nothing crazy. All right, number 13 is your coolant. So I did have this coolant flushed out by BMW themselves. That cost me about $269 with the coolant and labor. So here is the expansion tank. Here's the intercoolant. What you want to do is, if you need to refill, it would be right about here. You want to refill at this spot, but make sure these two are lined up, and make sure you use genuine BMW coolant if you need to refill it. I wouldn't recommend using any other brand, Prestone, any of that. So just stay with OEM, you'll be safe. So you want to use for this one 2020 X7 requires HT12 antifreeze, and it's full concentrate, so you're gonna have to have this mixed with distilled water. So I got this from BMW, and it's a green one. It has a green cap on this one. So to check the coolant, you can look it from the side, kind of shine a light through it. You can actually see there's some coolant in there. But there's inside both caps, there's a step up, kind of looks like this, like a Z. So the bottom is the minimum, the top is the max. So same thing, we'll open it up, we'll show you. It is pressurized, both of them are pressurized. You may hear a little hiss. Never work on this or open this when the car is warm. Fair warning. There's a little bit of crust buildup in the lid. Down the road, I may need to replace these lids. You can see there's a little crystal there, right there. So I may need to replace this lid. Easily replaceable. You can get it from OEM or you can get it from Amazon. Look down there, what I was talking about. There's a little step up I talked about. So right now we're at the minimum, so you can see the fluid is actually down there. I know the camera doesn't capture it well, but it's actually at the minimum. So we're gonna top it off a little bit more to the max. And I did have some pre-filled coolant left, so I'm just gonna top it off a little bit there. So let's take a look down there, see what that one looks like. There it is. You can also see this one, min-max. And we're actually right perfect. We're at the minimum and the max, so in the kind of middle. That's what we want. So final thing is to reset the vehicle check. You don't need to step on the brakes or anything. You're gonna triple tap this start and stop 3 times. So you ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm holding the BC button down. I'm in diagnostic mode, still holding it down. Vehicle check, reset possible. So what we're gonna do is confirm by hitting the BC button, holding it down. Yeah, still holding it down. Still holding it. Reset, yes. So we're gonna confirm. I let go. I'm gonna confirm again. Reset possible. I'm gonna hold it down. Reset in progress. So I'm good for another 33,000 miles. So if you look over here, everything's been reset. Vehicle check, the whole shebang. So now we look at our main screen. We're gonna go to car. Oops. We're gonna go to car. We're gonna go vehicle status. So we're all green there, you can see. Tire pressure looks good. Even though it's 34 at the front and 40 in the back, but my wife looks like she overshot. Engine oil, okay. Check control, no entries. And required service, we're all green lights. All right, that was it. So 13-point inspection, done in your driveway, do it yourself, clear the code. So if you like this kind of content, we'll help you with cost saving by doing stuff yourself. You have to already subscribe to this channel. I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I mean, it really helps the channel grow and build a community together just by cost savings and doing stuff for ourselves. I'll see you next video. Thank you.